Fixing and cleaning this tired old dump truck. If you recall in the last video, we were rudely interrupted by Mother Nature. Electrical, diagnostics, and rain wasn't a good mixture. Where we were at was trying to get this electric motor back here to work that can run the hydro boost when the engine stalls or isn't running. Electrical relay looked good. The next thing we're gonna do is grab our multimeter. Let's just take a step back because we're troubleshooting everything about getting power to it. Not sure why I didn't think let's just check our power to it first. A lot of people said that electric motor is prone to fail, and I guess I kind of discredited it and just figured they would last. Fire this up. Positive lead is sitting right on that terminal, which should be our positive wire coming out of our wiring harness. Find somewhere decent to ground. Maybe we'll just scratch this. Okay, hit the brake in 1 second here. Again, we're looking for 12 volts. Okay, hold it. So we are getting 12 volts to that little motor. That concludes our troubleshooting. That motor needs two things. Number one, it needs ground. It's grounding through connecting, the bolt to the housing, the booster, all that. Number two, it needs a power source. We know we have 12 volts now to that wire. Conclusion is, as a lot of you guys did say, that motor's bad. Not sure where we're going to start looking, but we're going to try and find this brake motor somewhere. Now let's move on to getting this thing clean. Not only is it a lot more enjoyable not to work on this mouse poop grease ridden engine, just like the generator, when we clean this thing up, it was such a morale boost. I'm like, man, we're actually working on something half decent here. And it makes you feel a little bit better about the amount of time you're putting into something. To do that, it would be so nice to lift this bed up out of the way. We can really clean up underneath the frame there where it's greasy as well. In the truck, we have two levers. We have a up and down for the bed. We have a PTO in and out, which basically gives power to the unit to lift the bed. This is almost like an on and off switch. This is an up and down switch. Let's fire this up. PTO in. Nothing. PTO out. In. Now we got a whole lot of nothing. Let's hop onto the truck and see what we can find. I see two issues. First obvious one is we definitely have a leak. The fact that we're actively leaking out of here, even after 3 years of sitting, tells me this thing has been leaking for a while. Probably doesn't have much fluid in it. Number two, up at the transmission, this should be what selects on and off for PTO. Well, if you look there, we're a little disconnected. Probably standard, don't have as metric, but we'll try. This guy should slip inside of that bolt. That bolt looks pretty custom, but I don't have the right size nut for the end of that cable. I think it is standard. But I took this nut off of here. I think what we'll do is try and put that cable in that hole, sandwich it real tight with this, and see if that at least hold it to test this bed. One thing I don't like is how wobbly this is in here, so let's maybe grab a washer, see if we can shim that up a little bit, get rid of that wobble. Got our bolt out, we added a little crush washer in there. Blue Loctite is because we can't put the super tight, but we still want this to hold. Thread our nut back on there. That's what we're looking for there, something nice and tight. I have a feeling this thing broke off because it is sitting literally flush with this. And I don't know if we'll have enough travel to go to the off position. We'll find out here in a second. Clamp down tight on there. I hope it will hold, at least for our testing's sake. Definitely don't have all of our throws, so that's out, and then it stops right there halfway. So I know it's going underneath the whole way, but hopefully it's out the whole way. Secondly is we got to find out where the heck you put fluid in this thing, and where's the tank at. Following our lines here, I would say that's our tank. The question is, how do you check the level on it? Or is there a fill plug? Can't see much up there. Fortunately, I bet you have to lift the bed a little bit to look at all that stuff. It looks like there's a safety bar here to insert once we're up. But boy, I really don't trust that right there. That does not make me feel good. Hop in and see if it'll go up at least just a little bit so we can see underneath there safely. In case this isn't actually disengaged the whole way, we're gonna go clutch in, because we do need the clutch to go in and out. So technically we're out. Let's see if we can let the clutch out and it doesn't grab. Okay, good. So it is actually out. Clutch in, forward, up. I think we just ripped it right off. Let's see, we're gonna try and go up, pushing, we're pushing, nothing's happening. Technically we're in, we're up, and we're not moving. Nada, nothing. Let's go back out, down, and see what's going on down there. Oh, actually, we're still in our keeper there. We didn't rip it out of there. I don't know that. My next thought is we gotta find out how to check the fluid in this thing somehow with the bed down. After farther investigation, I don't even know if you can see it, I found there is a fill port on the top of this tank. How we're gonna fill it up That's a good question. On the other side of the truck, up over the frame, I can at least get my hands on it, so maybe I can fit something in here, maybe. I found out an 18 millimeter kind of fits. Up and over here. That's what I didn't want to do. I retightened it, but hey, we at least got it loose enough to see what's going on in there. I didn't mean to take it all, but I'll take it. Can't even see anything, so I'm going off of what you guys can see on the phone. Can't really see too much. Out of all these different funnels here, I just can't really get a nice angle, because that's actually going in, but as you can see, it's kind of a poor place to pour from. Maybe have a rubber hose or something we can put on the end of that. Flexible funnel would be perfect in this situation. We got ourselves a hose running in there, connected to the funnel. I don't know how well that's gonna work, but we'll try it out. This just is not going to work here. Actually, what would really be perfect would be some type of pump just to run the hose right into there, but I do not have that at my house. New plan here. I found this in the truck at the Bottle ETF. Got rid of the little bit that was left in there. Brake cleaned it out, put some hydraulic oil in here, switched it around, cleaned it out. So this should be safe to put hydraulic oil in now. Dump this into here and then take it and fill it up because I can get this up higher. That's the plan. We'll see if it works. We ditched the hose and I think we're actually getting it in there. So slowly but surely I can do about half a quart at a time here because I can't actually tilt this up. It's just sitting level. Okay, either we are full. Yeah, actually it does look like we're pretty full there. We almost took all this 2 gallons, so let's see if it'll suck any down. In case it wants to gurgle and bubble on us, let's at least just thread this on here. Just hand tight. Back in here we go. Clutch in. Neutral. Start. PTO, let's throw it in. Just not hearing anything that makes me think it's in. Just try and go up. Maybe. We're in, we're up, and we're not going up. One thing unrelated to that, but I did hear, is this thing started moaning and groaning. That extra ATF I had actually is for this, so I put in what I had, but it looks like we're still on the very low side. Well, good thing I brought a gallon and inspected this. Geez, between what I put in there before and now, it almost took a full gallon worth. Out of curiosity, let's see how the brakes feel now. A lot of air in there to get out. See if our parking brake goes out, actually. We almost got all the lights out. Oh my, whoa, we got every light out except for our electric brake motor. Wow, that's awesome. She drank every bit of that down. On the plus side, it's like we're doing a fluid flush without ever having to flush the old stuff. We added a good bit more. Let's see if it's happy now. Wipe it off. Check again. Tell you what, why don't we look under the truck for puddles, because that's a lot. Geez, still bone dry. Specifically in the back of the truck here for anything. Okay, that is definitely a problem. So this is the pressure sensor, I believe, for the back here. I'm gonna get a new one of these guys on the way, just because the whole sensor looks crusty and everything. It's not even worth trying to reseal it. But I do feel good enough to say I bet I can put these back in and uncage the brakes. Something is that low, I don't ever feel good about just adding fluid and saying fixed. Clearly, a gallon of fluid had drained out somehow, somewhere. Draining fluid definitely leaked out of that sensor over the course of 3 years. Hydraulic fluid leaked out of that side of the pump where we saw over 3 years. Let's get a new sensor on order, new brake motor. You guys can devise a better way to get that fluid in there, a different pump or something. And maybe we'll have a lifting and stopping dump truck.